Okay, so I think that part up to that part it is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now today we will also study some programs, small programs. So can you see my screen? Okay, just wait 1 minute. I'm
Yes, sir.
sharing
No,
this.
sir.
Okay. So now it is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically today we'll understand the four program. So I think all the four programs are very simple, but what we will do, we'll implement using Python program. Okay. So first program is to write a Python program to find the greatest number from the three numbers. So I think logic is very clear to you. The we'll take the three number from the user input. Suppose 12, 34, and the 1, right? 12, 34, sorry, 34, and the 1. Okay. Now you have to find out what will be the largest number. So first thing, so obviously you can understand you have to apply the if else condition, right? You have to apply the if else condition. Then what will be the condition? First condition. So first we have to check whether the first number, say for example, this is the first number, this is second number, and this is the third number. So when we will take it from the user and we will put in a variable, then we don't know whether it is the first number is the largest one, second number is the largest, or third number is the largest one. Okay, we don't know that. That's why we'll first stored all the three value in the three variables. Fine. Now first we'll check whether the first number, this number, we check the condition between these two numbers, 12 and 34. But mind it, here we are not considering the value, exact value. Rather, we'll put the value in the A, say for B and another variable, and C is the another variable. Or it will be better, for example, number 1, number 2, and the number 3. Okay, fine. So, first what we have to do, we have to check whether number 1 is greater than number 2. So, if we check the number 1 is greater than number 2. So, if it is true, then we have to check that before taking the decision, we need to check again whether number 1 is greater than number 3 or not. Okay. If it is again greater than number 3, then we can say number 1 is the largest number. Okay, fine. So what we will do, again we'll check the another condition. So what I am doing here, if it is not the Python syntax, exact Python syntax, I am just writing here for our understanding purpose. So first if condition is tested, then we go for the second one, number 3. Fine. So if it is also true and false means it will come into in terms of Boolean value. Either it will be true or it will be false. There is no possible value apart from the 0 or 1. So that's why it is the Boolean value. Okay. Either true or false. So, okay. But if it is not true, then that comes to the else part. If it is not true, that means number 1 is not greater than number 1 is not greater than number 3. Okay. So immediately we'll take the decision. What will be the decision? The number 3 will be greater than, that means the, I am writing here print. So index number 1 is the largest one, fine here. And here, what will be the largest one? If
Number 3.
number 3 will be the largest one, right? Number 3 will be the largest one. Fine. But if it is not true, again this else part means the else part of the first if condition. Okay.
Number 2 is the largest one.
Number 2 is the largest one. Have we captured all the possible combinations? Okay, up to this point we have captured all the possible conditions. Okay, up to a certain level. Let's we take the example in terms of Python. Okay, so what we will do first? So first I will take the one. So number 1. So first we will open the Python file from here. So if you have not previously attended the class, so I am opening the IDLE and I am typing a new file here. Okay, then I have started to write in the window. Since I have not saved the file, that's why the window title is untitled. Okay, now I will start. Then first I will take that from this example from the discussion. So first I will take the number 1 equal to number 1 will be int, then it will be for the integer conversion input. So enter the first number. Okay, now we can easily copy the line 2 times here. So I just rename the variable, so it will be second and it will be third variable. Okay. Fine. Now we have to check the condition. If num1 greater than num2, print. So again we will check the condition as per this discussion. If num1 greater than num3, print num1. So we want to write some string here is greater than number 2 and number 3. Else print number. So I can copy it from here, the previous line. Okay. So num3, number 1 and number 2. Okay. Else else number 2 is greater than number 1 and 3, right? So we'll write here number 2. So now I save the file. Okay. I have saved the file. Now I run the module. So first one 12, second one 34, and third one 3. So 34 is greater than 12 and 3. Okay, fine, no problem. Again we run the program. So now we'll 23, 56, and 78. So so you see, we are getting some. We are not getting the error actually, but our output is not proper. There is nothing wrong in the program from the as per the syntax point of view, but from logical point of view, there is certain problem. Okay. Again, we'll run the program 23, 23, and 23. Is it a correct answer? 23 is greater than 23 and 23. So I discussed the concept of testing in the software engineering when I talked about the software development life cycle. Then I told you that the testing is a very important part to develop the software. And here you take the simple example and you can understand the importance of the testing. So obviously it will be considered as a unit testing because you are developing a small program and then you are taking the input from the user in a closed environment and you are taking whether it is a all of the conditions are satisfied or not. But you take here the example that whenever I am giving the three equal numbers, our output is not correct. So from the if we consider this is a testing point of view, we can understand the testing is for when we are performing the unit testing, we have to check whether all the possible combinations, whatever may be the combination, my module is working properly or not. Working does not means that it will the program is correct as per the syntax point of view. It should be correct also from a logical point of view. That the desired output is are you getting the desired output or not? So here you are not getting the desired output. So we have to put the another logic here. Let condition print Let's take the example whether it is working or not properly. What will be the condition here?
num2 greater than num3.
Twenty-three. So I'm writing again another time. 12, 23. Okay. Still we have some problem with this program. Can you find out the error, the logical error from the program?
So we have not
Yes,
checked
sir.
if num3 is greater than num2 or not.
Num
Num3 is greater than num2 or not after
num.
the second elif condition.
Then what we will do?
So we can add another elif condition with num3 greater than num2. That will work.
Else if
If num3 is greater than num2.
num3 is greater than num2. Sorry, num2. Twelve, 23, 45. Okay. So we'll write another input number into combination. So minus 13, 12, 13, sorry, minus 15, minus 10, minus 1. So minus 1 is greater than minus 15 and minus 10. Okay. So actually you see in this particular combination minus 13, 13 and 13, the first number, again the all numbers are equal. Actually you see the first number is minus 13. So obviously it is not the largest one. So among 13 and second and third, both are same number. So if we want to more precise, the same program more precisely, then we have to put another logic that will display that two numbers are equal. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you see, this is a very simple program. only check the three numbers. But when we are putting the same program under the defined testing condition, the testing condition means the defined type of numbers, value of the numbers, then you see the same program is sometimes working or sometimes it is not working, or that means it is not generating the proper output. But other cases, if you consider the other conditions, then it is working fine. Okay, so that is very important part. And not only when you are writing the program, from the software engineering perspective, it is very important to test your module whether it is working for all possible combinations, whatever memory input. It is not necessary you have to test with all the possible numbers. It is not necessary, because when you are working in the closed environment, that means you are working in the particular set of combination, then you know that your input will come in a particular pattern. Either it will working in, you have to handle with the integer value, or you have to handle with the floating value, like that. Okay, and based on that you have to develop, you have to test the software, you have to test your module, and obviously it is considered as a unit testing. Okay. So I think the program is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, obviously we will try to develop. This is a very simple program. It is working for the natural number, right? And when we go for the object-oriented programming approach, then we will try to implement the same concept respect to the complex number, because most of the software modules, the most of the language, they don't support the complex number. Okay, because the complex number is not necessarily available for all the, it is only for the scientific purpose, right? So that's why in the standard library it is not necessary to put the complex number. Okay, so we can implement the complex number, one library for the complex number, and we can compare. Obviously you can understand that when we are checking the condition for the complex number, then the simple greater than condition is not sufficient for the complex number. I am right? If you just check the, put the greater than sign or less than sign to check whether the two complex number is greater or less, it is not possible. Have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you have no question, then we can move to the next program. So this is quite simple program. Write a Python program that prompts the user to enter a number between 1 to 7, then displays the corresponding day of the week. Okay, so user will give the input between 1 to 7, and if it is 1, then you will get the message Sunday. If it is 2, then you will get the message Monday. If it is 3, then we will get the message Thursday and Tuesday, like that. Okay, so again we will do the same thing. New file. So day, you can write day equal to c int input enter the number between so if day equal to 1, print Sunday Next, we check the another if else condition. So day 2, okay, no colon after the print statement. So next one is the it's on Thursday, sorry, the Tuesday.
স্যার সে বলছে এতগুলো এলিফ না দিয়ে স্যার ডিকশনারি ইউজ করলে তো ইজি হয়ে যাবে অনেক।
হ্যাঁ, ডিকশনারি গুলো ইজি হবে, কিন্তু আমি তো এখন ডিকশনারি ঢুকছি না, সেই না এখানে ইউপিএস দিয়ে দেখাচ্ছি প্রোগ্রামটা, ঠিক আছে। ডিকশনারি ইউজ করলে আমরা তো অবভিয়াসলি অনেক প্রোগ্রাম আমরা এরপরে প্রিন্টিং যে প্যাটার্ন গুলো যেগুলো আছে, when we'll discuss the printing pattern program, then we'll see if we use the same logic just like the C language, we can implement the pattern program also. But due to the some special feature of the Python program, we can implement the printing pattern program in a more simple way. Okay. Similarly, obviously you can understand the Python is more advanced than the C language. Okay. It provides lot of features. So that's why we can implement the more, but I'm starting from the very basic level. Okay. That's okay. And no problem, we are getting this proper output. But if the user mistakenly give the input as say 9, so it will show the output Saturday. Okay. That's why you need to special care regarding the number which will be outside the range, given range. So if it is outside the given range between 1 to 7, then we have to show the some special message to the user. So that's why we take the another else if condition here, and in else part we will from the user, we will message to the user the wrong input. Now you test the module.
से elif condition दिता है।
Yeah, right. Okay. So now your program, if small program, is totally working for the your input conditions as well as the condition which are outside your given range. Okay, so it is sufficient to the user that okay, I have given the wrong input. Okay, so any question? Obviously, whatever program I am just executing here, you can implement the same program in a different way. Okay, but when I have to show, I have to discuss the your basic idea. Then I will always start with a very simple example and the small programming logic, a very simple programming logic. Otherwise, we can put the different more complex program, more complex logic, but it will be difficult to understand for the beginners. But once you have got the complete idea, then obviously you can implement a program with a more complex logic. It is not a big issue. Okay. Now we move to the third program. Write a Python program to determine whether the character entered is viral or not. Okay. Viral or not. Okay. So what do we have to check? Can you share any logic? Whether it is viral or not? So we have to check
So or
whether
logic or
yeah. So obviously if condition and the another is the and condition. Okay. So or I'm sorry, the or condition. Okay. So whether it is similar with the A, E, I, O, U. So if it is not similar with the A, E, I, O, U, then it is not the vowel. Okay. But obviously, okay. So implement the program first. Equal to input enter a character if equal to mind it is not the assignment sign. When you are putting the equal to, it is the assignment sign, but it is not the assignment sign, it's a comparison. Okay, so you are just taking the two variables. So when you are writing the, I think all of you know that concept. So when you are writing a equal to b, that means the content of b will be assigned to a. Okay, but when you are writing the a equal to b, that means you are comparing the value a with the b. Okay, so that's why when you are writing the program, it is very common mistake to us to give the either to miss the another equal sign here. So E print so fine, it is not a vowel. Vowel, fine. But can you observe, is there any incompleteness of the logic in the
Yes, sir.
program?
Sir, if user is giving us any small letter instead of capital
Yeah.
letter, then
Yes. So if I just put the input Q, Q is not a vowel. So it obviously you have to incorporate more logic in the program to get the proper output. You consider all the possible cases. Okay. So what we can do here, we put the here A E I
স্যার বলছি এগুলো সবগুলোকে যদি সিএইচ ডট আপার ইজ ইকুয়াল টু করে দেওয়া হয় তাহলে তো সবগুলো তো একবার লিখলেই হয়ে যাবে।
সেটা করা যাবে। আমি একটা অ্যাসপেক্টে দেখাচ্ছি, সেটা করা যাবে, অবশ্যই করা যাবে। তুমি প্রথমে যদি কনভার্ট করে নাও, যে এটা তুমি যদি লোয়ার কেসে থাকে আপার কেসে কনভার্ট করে নাও, সেটা আরেকটা প্রোগ্রাম হবে। ওকে, দ্যাট উইল বি টার্ন ইনটু অ্যানাদার প্রোগ্রাম। দ্যাট মিন্স ইউজার উইল গিভ দ্য any input in either in a capital letter or small letter, but it will convert it to, if it is a small letter then it will convert it to the capital letter and then it will be tested. Okay, that we can do. In that case, from when you will user will take the input from the program will take the input from the user. The first time it will be tested whether it is a capital letter or not. If it is capital letter, then we just put the logic. If it is not capital letter, then we make it in the capital letter, then we test the logic. Okay. Actually,
মাথা পেছন দিকে হেলান।
so just so It is clear to you? So the program is quite complete to test whether the your input character is viable or not. Okay. Now we'll move to the fourth program. Actually, your fourth program, what you told, that is linked to the fourth program. Write a Python program to take the input from the user and then check whether it is a number or a character or a number. Sorry, it is repeated 2 times. Character. If it is character, determine whether it is uppercase or lowercase. If it is a character, then it will determine it is uppercase or lowercase. So when you check the logic, you understand the problem definition. Write a Python program to determine whether the character entered is viable or not. So user can give any input. You have to test whether it is viable or not. Okay. So your testing condition is limited here. Your testing condition is limited here only on the 10 characters. Are you getting my point? Only 10 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And outside, apart from all the 10 characters, everything will be, it is not a viable. So that's why when I am going to write the statement, the character is not a viable, first time I am going to write it is a consonant. But as per the problem definition, we cannot write it. Why? Because the problem, as per requirement of the problem, you are testing whether it is viable or not. Okay. So if I write consonant, then if the user give the input, say any other value, then it will be also, it may be special character. It may be special character. Let's take the example for here. Run the program. Have you got my point? I have given
Yes, sir.
as a user, I have given the start. As a user, I will give the input at sign. To be, you cannot say at is a consonant. Okay. So, and that is the idea of the requirement analysis in the software engineering the process. Requirement analysis. You have to understand what is the requirement of the customer, the client. That is and from that requirement analysis, you can design the problem definition. So actually, problem definition, when we are writing, we generally give the assignment to you, stating the write a program on that particular problem. So actually, the problem definition is given in that sentence, in the paragraph. So as your department, the EC department, so when you are working with some particular signal, so what kind of signal and what will be the range of the signal, that will matter in the program. Okay, suppose you are writing a filter, you are designing a filter. Okay, I think all of you have the concept regarding the filter, the low pass filter and the high pass filter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when you are just putting what is the meaning of high pass filter? What is the meaning of high pass filter?
So only the those signals with a higher frequency will be allowed to pass.
একটা
while
রেঞ্জের পর স্যার ও ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি
Lower will
গুলোকে
be-
অ্যালাউ করবে, তার আগে রেঞ্জ গুলোকে করবে না।
Right. So in the low pass filter, a certain signal below that particular range will be go through, and other will be, it will not pass through the. So if we, and in case of band pass filter, so it is only in range between a particular certain range, just like 1 to 7 or like that. Now if I consider as a software engineering point of view, not the hardware part, software engineering point of view, then what is the meaning? I put if condition. If this condition, then you pass the signal. If it is not satisfied, don't pass the signal value. In case of the band pass filter, I will keep the two conditions. If this range is satisfied, this particular range is satisfied, then you pass the signal, otherwise not. Right? So that is the idea. So you have to understand when writing, because these are the very simple program. Suppose you are working with the Python module in for your own application. You want to incorporate the Python. You have to write the Python program to fetch some data from the sensor and send to the server. Okay. So basic thing you have to understand the requirement of the problem definition. Then you can, if the problem definition is clear to you, then obviously if the problem definition is clear, remaining part is how to design, how to solve that problem. That means development of the algorithm for that problem. And then remaining part is you just follow the certain rules from a particular programming language, and then you develop your program based on your algorithm. That is the flow. Okay. So let's take the final example for the today. So new file.
স্যার এই প্রোগ্রামটাতে একবার ভুল হলে আবার প্রথম থেকে লিখতে হয় না যদি সেন্টারে সেটার চলে আসে?
কোনটা বলো তো, বুঝলাম না।
লিখছিলাম একটা সিনট্যাক্স এরর এসেছিল, আমি ডিলিট করতে পারছি না।
তুমি ওই ইয়েতে প্রবলেম হয়, তোমার জুপিটারে করলে অনেক সময় প্রবলেম হয় একটু। তুমি কি জুপিটারে করছিলে? এখানে তো কিছু প্রবলেম হয় না, আমি দেখি।
এই ইডেল যেটা আপনি করছিলেন ওটাতেই করছিলাম।
এটাতে আইডিয়ালিতে। So here we first check, we have to check first whether the number or it is a character. Okay. So ch input here you see previous case we need to take care each and every symbol, every vowel, because it is not in the continuous manner, it is in a discrete manner. Okay, so that's why we are checking all the capital A and all the capital vowel and small vowel individually using the OR logic. Okay, but here we have the freedom. What is the freedom? Because when we will consider, we will go for the testing of capital letter or small letter, it should be continuous, right? A to Z, capital A to capital Z, small a to small z. Okay, so if we check the range, then it is sufficient to us. Clear? So that's why if ch greater than a, and here we are putting the and condition, we are just checking the range, just like high pass filter or low pass filter. Okay, ch particular second logic get so we can understand whether it is in a capital letter
স্যার টুটা বুঝতে পারলাম না।
টু না জেড?
Oh, अच्छा.
A to Z, we have to check for the capital letter. Small letter A to small z. Okay. So if some character is greater than this range, so that's why it is range outside the capital A. Okay. Similarly, int here we will go for the else. Capital A, fine. But fine. Uppercase, no problem with the uppercase and lowercase. Sorry. Now 89. Number was entered. Fine. Last, I will take the last test input. That is the number was entered. That means what is the problem? A pressure symbol is coming as a number. So we need to take care about the another logic. That is the another else if conditions. Okay. So so here we'll put the statement, a number was entered, and here ch is not a number or number. Let's take the input. Number entered. What about the special character? Say star. She is not a character or number. Okay. So have you got the logic? So first we are checking if it is a uppercase, fine. If it is a lowercase, just searching the range. Okay. Then we are searching for the whether it is a number or not, and if your input is not belonging in any of the three set, either capital letter set or small letter or number set, then it is not a character or number. Okay, so it is sufficient to the user to inform this message. Whatever you have given, it is not a number or it is not a character also. Okay. Now someone of you told that we can check the uppercase letter and whether it is a lowercase, then we can make it uppercase. Then what will be the logic? You just put the logic here, same logic. Ch is greater than equal to small a and less than equal and character ch greater than less than equal to greater than equal to small a and less than equal to z. Then you make it uppercase. Okay, then compare with the previous example. Okay, this one. Clear? So first we have to check whether it is uppercase or lowercase. As per not for this program. This program is completed. The third program is completed. Fourth program is completed. In the fourth program, as per the definition of the program, what was the requirement? Requirement was the take the input from the user and test whether it is uppercase, lowercase or number. First we will check the character or not. If it is number, if it is a character, then we check whether it is uppercase or lowercase. Fine. Now what I am telling, one of your friend has told me that we can check that for the previous example, previous problem, this problem, we can without checking the uppercase letter, the lowercase letter, we can do one thing. We can check it from the, you can take it from the user, and if it is a lowercase, then we can make it uppercase. Fine. And then we can convert it, then we can apply our logic, this logic. Okay, this logic. So if it is input is alphabet, small alphabet, then we make it capital letter, then we put the logic here. Okay, that's why I'm telling, in that context you have to check using this one.
স্যার
Yes.
স্যার এখানে যদি আমি একটা আপার কেস দিয়ে একটা ছোট লোয়ার কেস দিই একসাথে, তাহলে কি আউটপুট আসবে?
দেখো কি আউটপুট আসবে। থার্ড প্রোগ্রামটা ফোর্থ প্রোগ্রামে তো দেখো কি আসবে।
ওই এলস পার্ট যেটা আছে স্যার ওটা আছে। So only first character count হচ্ছে।
ফার্স্টটা নেবে। দেখো এবার দেখো একবার রান করাচ্ছি। দেখো ফার্স্টটা নেবে। এইবার দেখো ফার্স্টটা নিচ্ছে কিনা আরো ভালো বুঝতে হবে কিছু বলতো। এইবার দেখো আমি একটা স্পেশাল ক্যারেক্টার দিলাম, এক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু পাল্টে গেল। এটা কিন্তু তোমার ভালো একটা তোমার প্রোগ্রাম টেস্টিং এটা কোশ্চেন, এটা ভালো। নাম্বারের ক্ষেত্রে তোমার দেখো প্রথমে নাম্বারটাকে চেক করছো। কিন্তু তোমার enter the character is not a character number।
সে ফার্স্টটাই তো নিচ্ছে।
ফার্স্টটাই নিচ্ছে। প্রত্যেকটা ক্ষেত্রে ফার্স্টটাই নিচ্ছে। তো এই ক্ষেত্রে প্রথম যেটা ইনপুট দিয়েছিলাম কিউডব্লিউ আপার কেস, এটা স্মল, এটা কম্বিনেশন দিয়েছিলাম।
ক্যারেক্টারটাতে ক্যারেক্টার যদি আমরা দেখি তাহলে তো ওটা একটাই না চেক করবে, নাহলে তো ওটা স্ট্রিং হয়ে যাবে অনেকগুলো একসাথে
নিচ্ছে না।
হ্যাঁ ওই একটাই ওই জন্য চেক করছে।
বলো কি বলছিলে বলো তো, কথাটা ইন্টারাপ্ট হয়ে গেল। বল এখানে প্রথম যেটা আছে সেটাই নিচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে। এবার আমরা এটাকে যখন আমরা রেগুলার এক্সপ্রেশন দেখবো তখন আমরা দেখবো যে এটাকে টোটাল স্ট্রিংটাকে নিয়ে কিভাবে আমরা ম্যানিপুলেট করতে পারি, ঠিক আছে। রেগুলার এক্সপ্রেশন বা স্ট্রিং যখন প্রসেসিং এ যখন যাবো আমরা, ঠিক আছে। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আজকে এখন পর্যন্তই কমপ্লিট হলো তাহলে। তো এরকম ছোট ছোট প্রোগ্রাম দিয়ে তোমাদের প্রবলেম হচ্ছে না তো, নাকি কমপ্লেক্স প্রবলেমে চলে যাব? হ্যালো,
না স্যার, ছোটগুলো আগে হোক তারপর কমপ্লেক্সে যাব।
হ্যাঁ সেটাই আমি বলছি। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, কারণ আমরা যখন অবজেক্ট ওরিয়েন্টেড প্রোগ্রামিং এ যখন যাব তখন অটোমেটিক্যালি কমপ্লেক্স হয়ে যাবে ওটা, ঠিক আছে। আলাদা করে কোনো কিছু করতে হবে না, ঠিক আছে।
স্যার কাল ক্লাস নেবেন?
কখন ক্লাস আছে বলো?
সেকেন্ড হাফে 2:10।
হ্যাঁ নেবো কালকে ক্লাস।
আচ্ছা স্যার, ঠিক